Welcome back to our first story. Health Minister Kweku Manu says more than $6 million has been paid to UNICEF to deliver vaccines as the shortage lingers on. According to Kweku Manu, government expects the shortage to end in the next 3 weeks when the vaccines paid for is delivered. He made statements on the floor of Parliament.
At the time when I went to the ministry, where I was so bogged up, we're trying to negotiate with Gavi and our donors to actually continue to give us vaccines once we started paying for the arrays. We inherited over $15.8 million equivalent in vaccines. There was a shortage of vaccines, and we even had recorded close to about 358 infections in that particular year, 2016. I have statistics here. Mr. Speaker, it's a very serious, public interest issue. The assurances I will give, and I can give for the first time in the chamber here, that this will not happen again. And I will advise that you help me in my advocacy to get adequate funding for vaccines, even the health insurance budget, right? So when we meet with committee, they have always been talking about it, and even in the chamber, it has come up, so that if Parliament approves adequately for us, we always have our budget well-defined, we'll be able to supply. And I'll assure you that whatever challenges that happened, I don't think we're going to face these possible challenges any longer. And I'll stand here and assure the House that within the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we will get vaccines, possibly even probably before that. Even probably before that. See, I can't lay my hands on specific dates, but even probably before that, we may get the vaccines, probably even earlier than the 3 weeks that I'm talking about. Throughout the period, we made close to $6.4 million equivalent to UNICEF, who supplies us the vaccines.
My colleague Kweku Asante, who is Parliamentary Affairs Correspondent, has joined us with more. Kweku, did the Minister explain why it will take 3 weeks to fix the problem?
Indeed, Aisha, even for these 3 weeks, MPs have been pushing for some specific day that these vaccines will arrive in the country. He's unable to give that, and that is why he's given that blanket 3 weeks window to say that within 3 weeks, his expectation is that the country would have received the needed vaccine to supply to health facilities around the world. Some MPs, in particular, those on the minority side, not too excited about the responses of the minister because they wanted some more specific assurances. But the only thing the minister could do was to say that within the next 3 weeks, they expect that this will come in. Obviously, the minister previously had not said that this was a funding issue, but it's now clear that it is funding. The reason why there's a shortage is because his ministry did not have enough money to be able to buy these vaccines. And so he's been telling Parliament to totally support him to be able to get more money from the finance ministry to do some of these things. And Parliament has been committed. Some of these MPs have been committing to support him to do so. But as of now, we do not have any clear day or dates that Ghana will receive much needed vaccine for health facilities across the country, except to expect, as the minister has said, that in the next 3 weeks at least, the country will receive some much needed vaccines.
We know the MPs have not been happy all this while. How are they responding to this?
I'll take the last one. So we've been hearing from the minority side led by Kwabena Minta-Kando, who is the ranking member on the health committee, who's been saying that the reason why we are here is due to incompetence, and that the minister, the president coming to Parliament to lament is not what MPs want to hear. They want to hear specifics. They want to hear that these are the specific reasons why we do not have vaccines. And for that reason, next week, 2 days, 3 days time, specific dates, vaccines will be coming in. They do not seem to have gotten that. Of course, the majority side MPs have also been expressing worry about the situation, but they say that the minority side especially should cut government some slack, because of course, this is not the first time that there's been vaccine shortage, and that this should not be turned into a political footballing as it were. So both MPs on both sides of the House have been expressing concerns about the development, but ultimately they are keen on holding the minister to account in the next 3 weeks if government do not secure vaccines.
Kweku, what else is happening in Parliament?
So on the floor now, MPs are making statements and comments on International Women's Day. It was commemorated last Wednesday but it was also the day President Akufo-Addo came to Parliament to present the State of the Nation address. So some of these statements, which has become an annual ritual, could not be made. And so on the floor now, the MP for Ayawaso West Logan, Honorable Lydia Sarah Malasan, has delivered a statement, and MPs on both sides of the House are commenting on it. We heard from Esma Usu, who says that we must get to the point where MPs who are women in their constituencies will not be contested by men, and only women will contest them, invariably turning those seats into women-held seats. In this 8th Parliament, there are only 40 MPs who are female, 20 on both sides, and the MPs say that Ghana should get to a point where we get more female representation in the House. Right after these statements and comments, MPs will get back to debating the State of the Nation address that was presented yesterday. The minority side said that the statement the president offered was hopeless. It did not offer any hope to Ghanaians. Their colleagues on the majority side disagree. They will continue the debate right after these statements are completed.
Wasante is our parliamentary affairs correspondent. He will be bringing us more in our subsequent bulletins from